Patch 24 has just dropped. That means we've got brand new stuff like territory capture, officers, and a plethora, and I'm not overusing that word, a plethora of new resources that we have to, all kinds of new currencies. But all the details in this video, get excited because it's actually new content. It's literally new. See, it's brand new. Come check it out. Let's go.
Fancy intro music, yeah! Woo!
All right, everybody, welcome to the brand new chaos and excitement that is new content in Star Trek Fleet Command. And it actually is brand new, evidenced by the fact that I'm mining something. Look, I'm mining. Isn't that cool? I love mining. Here he is, right here. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Mining some of this real. Okay, joking aside, the graphics of what they did for all this is pretty cool. So the main feature of number 24 or patch 24 is going to be territory capture. So if you've updated your game, scroll out on the map. You're used to these areas. Now come down to this area of space. This is going to be all the areas that alliances can start vying for to take control of, and they'll get different bonuses for depending on the location. Now, some of those bonuses are useful. Some of them aren't necessarily as useful. But the cool thing about this system is it operates just how deep space does. So if you're unfamiliar with deep space in Star Trek Fleet Command, it basically means you can't see what's going on unless you're there. So I've got a ship heading in right here. You got a North Star coming in. But right now, doing a little bit of mining for the isogen. So what this is going to allow you to do, let's start breaking this down step by step. First of all, the isogen, where to mine it? Well, it is actually in several systems. You've got 48 total nodes in 6 systems here in the space that is purple. That is your brand new wonderful Stella area where you've got all the rogues. So you've got that in here. And you also have these mining fields that were just added to the game that have 25 each. Now, these are going to be battlegrounds, and they already have been on my server with this just launching. This is where you have most of the nodes currently at, but this is also, as you can see, lots of whales, quite a few whales, including Frosty's Enterprise A, just chilling because whale. So there's going to be a lot of those there, but there are a lot of nodes. Hey, look, there's Expo with 2 Enterprises, just because why not? But anyway, you have 75 total in these 3 systems, 25 each, and then you've got another 48. So if you're doing your math there, what is that? 123 total nodes where you can mine this isogen compound. This isogen compound has a refinery tab. Right here in the territory. Level 25 must be options 25, operation 25 to access territory capture resources. Now, at the making of this video, the events have not rolled out yet. They're going to roll them out slowly throughout the day. But because there is so much going on, we're going to try to cover as much as we can. I'm not going to get too much into the new officers in this game, but I do want to answer some basic questions about the territory capture, go through some of the basics, and some of the patch notes, because even the patch notes they don't tell everything. So the basics of territory capture, each alliance will be able to hold 5 zones max. Now, how this is going to play out is you're not going to be getting a lot of zones quickly. For example, I don't even think whales with an extreme amount of spending are going to get 5 zones in a month. I really don't. But you can have up to 5. Now, another important feature with this is you're going to have 30 tier 1 zones. That means entry zones. So 30 different spots that you can get into the map. So they've made it to where it's not hopefully going to be purely whale-centric in how you get in and take control of these areas. Now, each of these areas will have takeover times. So actual times dedicated to you have to be in the area to take them over. And that's where this how to take over comes in. So the origin sector, which is all the new territory on the map, is going to have these takeover events that are basically like burst events, but with extended time periods that last 30, 45, or 60 minutes. Once a takeover has started, tap on the zone you want to participate in, pay the resource required to get into the zone, and then your alliance will contribute. That goes back to the alliance tab I just showed you. Any Commodore or Admiral can start the zone capture process. Once this happens, you need to get ships inside the area. And once in the area, you can then start earning points. So I put the North Star in an area here, which you can see. And there are going to be nodes that are called capture nodes, which currently just has a random Vidar on this node. But here's a capture node. So when you're on these nodes during the takeover process, you're going to get 3 points for every minute that you're on this node, and you get 1 point just being in space. So 4 total points each ship can garner you in the area. So if you're an alliance trying to take a zone, you want as many ships as possible, and you want to control all the nodes. Now, obviously, these nodes are going to lead to fights. That's kind of the nature of them. But you see, if I come and try to occupy this node, nothing's going to happen because there's not an actual territory capture going on right now. There are no events launched. But you see, I get 3 points a minute if I manage to stay on top. This is actually an area where your discovery will be useful for the warping everybody into one spot feature. You can see Vets Fincher here has got that, as well as Drunk bringing in his, so then you can warp everybody in at one time. But more importantly, what that's going to allow you to do is also use Rialta spams and small ships. Remember, you'll need to be able to only like warp 20 to get in here. So basically, any ship in the game can come into this area and start participating and causing a little bit of mischief and mayhem and craziness. That is a good thing. Diversity in the game. We like it. Now, all of this is going to be a cumulative thing where everybody in the alliance can actually help. So you see this inventory area. Once the raw isogen and the alloys and stuff start getting refined or purchased, because yes, there will be plenty of packs. If you are well and you want to spend money, don't you worry your bottom dollar. You can spend all them bottom dollars on packs to progress through the territory features quickly and get everything going. But the cool thing is the alliance will be able to contribute together. We'll be able to put everything in, and there's no contributions at the moment, but we'll be able to track that and see how that works. Which, speaking of, real quick, got to give a shout out to this handy new feature, Last Online. Y'all been asking for this for a long time, and now you finally got it. See who's online and see when the last time people were online. And proud to say that all of my people have been pretty recent. Of course, that doesn't count the people who've updated and logged in. But yeah, very needed feature for a lot of people there. Let's hop back into this. Like I said, there's a ton to get in through. So there's going to be several different areas that you can take control of in here in the galaxy that have different bonuses. So let's talk about some of the different bonuses and also the materials. First, we'll do the materials because you see me mining the raw isogen right now. And then you'll be able to there's T1 isogen, T2 isogen, T3 isogen. And when you refine, you'll get refined isogen. You'll get a progenitor alloy, or you know how RNG works, a chance at it. And then emulsion. So 3 different resources or currencies. Then we've got an entire plethora of more things. So we've got refined isogen, progenitor cores, progenitor nexus, progenitor laser, emitter, progenitor diodes, a lot of things that go into what is going to be needed to operate all these zones and control them. Now, it sounds super complex, and while they did complex the mess out of it, some of the basics are important to get into now. So you're going to have territory capture research, which is going to be helpful, but more importantly, the services that you're going to get using these zones. And let's go over some of the services. You'll have certain systems that only you can live in. So if your alliance controls the zone, let's just say it is Tholos Alpha, just level 3, that is an area that only you can live in. Just you. So everybody can relocate their ships there. And for the first time ever, Rev is going to sit here and tell you that hiving may actually be useful thanks to this patch if you control a zone that allows you to relocate your base there. Cool thing is, you're there, nobody else can relocate there to try to raid you. So you got a protected area to go into. Now, a quirky mechanic, though, is if somebody captures your zone and you lose it and you have your base there, you lose the ability to shield. You heard that right. So if you are sitting on one of these bases and you live here, but some other alliances captures the zone and you're still there, well, now you can no longer shield until you move out. So it's like a constant eviction policy. It'll be really, really interesting to see how that plays out in the game as well. Because will people be willing to just let their base sit there dead to control a very important part of space? I don't know. But Just saying. Anyway, some other things that we can go over real quick. I don't want to make this too long because like I said, there's there's so much to this one. Let's go back into our news menu. They really complicated the mess out of this takeover. But I think that's also going to mean that it's going to provide more in the long run. I'm actually looking forward to this territory because of everything that it's going to provide. It's adding so many different layers to the game that have been needed. Hopefully a black market comes next. So anyway, you got the Suliban, Tholians, Trill, Corvellin, Breen, and Bolians. Also shout out to Scopely because I guess I can go show you all the embassies. The graphics they made for these people, they actually look like them. So shout out to that. They actually have Breen that look like Breen. So we're going to have discovery new capture missions. An ARC will be running concurrent with the territory feature. No event store. No event store. That is kind of disappointing. You have these 3 uncommon officers, which we will go through in a video by themselves. And then we've got a few different fixes and things like that. But as far as the takeover, this is the basics. We cover that. The overdrive mode will be at the very end. So if it's a 60-minute takeover period, the last 20 minutes will have overdrive where you're getting a bonus to your points. So from going from earning 4 points to earning 12 points in that last, third of how you can do it. You see 5 zones total. Alliances can only start at T1 zones and then work their way through. So for example, if you're in a T1, you can't go to a T3. You got to go to a T1 and then work your way through the map. And with limiting it to 5 means a single alliance can't control all the territory, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. So that's the basics of it. This is a very complicated but not necessarily bad feature. As more pieces roll out, I will go ahead and put out more videos. I want to keep this one short to explain the basics of territory. Mining oxygen, which you can go ahead and do now. There's over 100 nodes. Y'all can fight over them. And then when the events start rolling out to actually start takeover, you can start refining all this material to get what your alliance needs to start a takeover process. And I might even live stream the first one that my alliances start on both servers, server 43 and server 20. If you got any questions, though, drop them below because I know you're going to have a ton because this patch is loaded with stuff. Absolutely loaded. If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button, hit subscribe to get notified of every time we go live and every time there's new videos coming out on the channel. Live long and prosper. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys, and we'll see you on the next one.
An even better outro than the intro. Yeah! Woo!